Dude, we need to talk. Imagine yourself living in the occupied Netherlands, and a young girl comes to your house, and she's from a persecuted minority, and she wants to hide out in your house. Hide out from the war, hide out from the enemy. Now, what are you gonna do? You see, man, most of us are kind of mediocrities. We're not gonna risk our lives, and this wouldn't be your proudest moment, but chances are you say, listen, I sympathize with you. I don't approve of these authority, of these occupiers. I don't approve of what's going on. The whole thing is shady. The whole thing is very edgy in the wrong way. I see people goose-stepping all around me, and it freaks me the fuck out. But I can't help you. I can't hide you. I can't take that risk. I have a lot of things in my basement that I don't want anybody to see. You would say no. Wouldn't be your proudest moment. Wouldn't be your greatest moment. But what about this? What if the little girl said, okay, that's fine, I understand. I understand. But I have this hamster that I want to leave with you for safekeeping. This hamster means a lot to me. And it's not as if the Nazis are gonna break into your house to find this hamster. They're not gonna confiscate this hamster. They have bigger things to do, like the Eastern Front. The hamster is gonna be safe with you, and you know it. And this is a kind of a moral dilemma, man. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of a piece of shit, what kind of a utter garbage human, what kind of a monster, vile fucking animal would you be to not take in the hamster? What kind of a person would you be to not welcome the hamster into your house? My dude, you would be the kind of a piece of shit human who wouldn't give me $1. That's the kind of a garbage, that's the kind of a fucking gutter dweller you would be. Motherfucker, give dad $1 or $2. Give me $1, motherfucker. Give me a fucking $1, you cunt.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
My dude, I know you through and through. I could practically see you watching this video right now. You're sitting around, dude, in your boxers. Motherfucker, you're too fucking lazy to even tuck in your dick into your boxers. It's fucking gross, man. It's just laying there like a fucking deflated sausage. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Your life has no meaning. What have you done, you piece of shit, to redeem yourself? To really redeem yourself before humanity? Now, maybe you visit your grandma with Alzheimer's and you get her those crackers from the vending machine that she really likes. Guess what, motherfucker? That bitch doesn't remember shit. It's like one cracker in, fucking 5 minutes later, she wants another one. She retains nothing. She has fucking dementia, dude. That money is wasted and would find a better home in my fucking bank account, dude. You wanna play this fucking feed the parrot, motherfucker, with your grandma? You piece of garbage. You know she used the N-word. What kind of a fucking nightmare is this? What are you fucking doing, man? Come on, you cunt. Give me $1. Give dad $1, okay, dude? Give me a couple of bucks, man.
Hello, my friends. I'm Rationality Rules, and this is another YouTuber on Patreon debunked. Jokes aside, I've decided to try my luck on Patreon to really gauge whether or not there is a demand for the type of content that I create. I love creating videos.
Now, some people scoff at YouTubers asking for money. Some people scoff at that. And maybe they want me to pay off my $200 microphone by sucking dicks behind a gas station. Dude, why don't you lay down and die? Why don't you lay down on the road and fucking die? You're not giving me any money, and I could give a shit what you think. But for those of you who actually still have some remnant of compassion and human decency inside of you, let me explain to you what's going on. You see, when I started this channel and I looked around, I saw a mission for myself. And I really saw a kind of a gap, a kind of a lack of a sort of a sardonic type of criticism that of YouTube culture that really was lacking. I saw just nothing there. Everybody's so self-righteous, and very few people criticize Jordan Peterson the way I do. And in order to support this kind of criticism and just support a certain style of a YouTube channel, I decided to start my Patreon. That's just bullshit, okay? The real algorithm here is kind of simple. I'm fucking poor, I live in my mother's house, and I have no money. And it would be fucking awesome. It would be really awesome to have some money, to have some extra money. You know, at my cargo van job, recently one of my coworkers almost died in a car crash. Well, it was just kind of a little existential crisis for me there, dude.
And really, like, the gas prices have increased, and I'm a contractor, so I'm actually, like, making below $10 an hour right now, factoring in the future repair costs that are on the horizon.
Yeah, I fucking have no money, and I like to have some money. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that there is a fucking great lofty goal behind this fucking Patreon. Alright? As you might have guessed with this channel, if you've been watching it before, this cannot be a simple e-begging video. In fact, it's gonna be another one of these rambling, pointless fucking videos that clearly need to be supported with money. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say a few more words as to why I'm starting my Patreon. Then I'm actually going to outline my Patreon philosophy. Do you want to hear that shit? Probably not. Then I'm going to go into the shitty and horrible perks that I've actually put together for my Patreon right now. After that, I'll wrap it up with my lofty kind of Patreon goals for the future of this channel, one way or the other, whether I'm able to squeeze any money out of it or not. Listen, nobody owes me any money. That's another thing. Nobody fucking owes me any money. It's just fine. I'll just head over to that gas station, and then I put a few pubes, leftover pubes, and make an extra mustache for myself, right? Put it in like fucking nose hair, and make a video about it. You'd like that, you fucking asshole, you cheap asshole. Oh, it's just the purity of art. Don't ask for money, Ivan. Don't ask for money. Just do it for the art of it. So here's the deal. I do have a deluded dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber. I mean, the numbers it would take to achieve that aren't astronomical, but they are relative to the viewership of this channel. Nevertheless, for the foreseeable future, I just like to make some money and hopefully reduce the number of hours I have to work at my job, and therefore dedicate more time to this channel, just to make videos smoother, etc., and just to spend more time preparing and making videos. Recently I've been feeling emo in the head and was preparing this the exclusive videos for my Patreon, so I haven't been making as many videos as I usually do, but regularly I make around 8 videos a month, like 7 to 10 videos a month, basically an average of 2 videos a week. To make 2 videos a week, it takes me about 20 hours, so 10 hours per video. First, there are a few hours of finding the right video to criticize, and then making the basic edits to it, where I could speak in the spaces between the assholes I'm criticizing. Is this work? It definitely is, because I fucking wouldn't watch fucking a couple of Stefan Molyneux videos in order to find the one that is ripe for criticism. I mean, that's the greatest punishment of all, and I should definitely be compensated for that. Then it takes me, believe it or not, around 1 to 2 hours to actually shoot the video, because this rambling, believe it or not, I do edit it, and I do kind of cut out a lot of it, and I also have a lot of stuff that I have to take a pause to look up something on Wikipedia, not to misinform you. I mean, it's just shit like that, with all these interruptions and so on, and with the shit I cut out and the bad takes, it takes me about an hour to 2 hours. Here's the here's the deal. Here's the deal. So here's the deal. Fucking, what is the fucking deal? So here's the deal. I do have a deluded dream, and then it takes me, I don't know, like 5 to 6 hours to edit it. So it's like 8 to 10 hours of video. That's basically what it takes me. Now, you might say, Ivan, you should wrap it up quicker. Maybe I should. I mean, that's just kind of how I do things. That's my ethic. So I'm sure I'm going to be like looking for 2 hours for the right picture of a hamster to include in this video for the first segment. And it's just kind of how I do things. It's like the great Russian author Lech Walesa Tolstoy wrote in his novel Ponies and Punishment. You don't get the YouTube creator you want, you get the YouTube creator you deserve. And essentially working for 20 hours per week in perpetuity isn't going to work. As much of an attention whore as I am, as much as I like to see those likes and comments and grown men calling me dad, and believe me, it warms my heart, it just can't realistically continue in perpetuity. If my kind of deluded dreams for this channel died, like everything else in my life died, as far as any aspirations for it, it would become a hobbyist channel over time. Basically, the output would decrease and you'd just see more cargo van videos. Chances are you wouldn't see anything because you'd fucking tune out. But I mean, essentially, it's just too much time to spend on a hobby. It's too much time to spend on something when your kind of deluded dreams die. It doesn't mean that I expect to make any kind of a great amount of money in any foreseeable future, but it would be nice to make a little bit of it back. Believe it or not, I kind of managed to spend $2,000 on this stupid channel. Like the backgrounds alone, like probably cost around $300 with the stupid collection I acquired. Of course, I can hide beneath them and shed salty emo tears, which is something I do on the regular. So they have other application, and the $700 laptop I've acquired for video editing, loads that Pornhub faster, and this makeup tutorial fucking light I got, I don't know, I guess I could check myself for prostate cancer. What the fuck, man? Like this fucking microphone, I don't know, man. I can record people having sex with it. I don't even know, man. These things, this is not huge. I mean, it's I spent it over time, but nevertheless, man, it's more than a hobby is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not doing any kind of a blackmail shit kind of thing. I mean, it's like, who gives a shit if this channel dies, There are now like 100 people doing this Patreon, this Peterson shit anyway, so it's all good in the hood. It's just the reality of it. Like, I would spend less time on a hobbyist channel, and if you want to help me out, that's fucking great. So what is exactly my Patreon philosophy? Well, check this out. When you look at different Patreon pages, as I do, to feel jealous, you'll see two basic approaches. One is crowdfunding, that I will basically refer to as e-begging, where a person just gives you money to support the main content on the channel. And the other one is more of like a market approach, that is to say, you pay somebody and they actually give you something back. So for example, I'm not a complete hypocrite when asking for Patreon, because I have been a patron in the past. And I've been a patron to this like communist podcast, Chapel Trap House. They're very ironic, very clever boys, very kind of fucking fancy pants, fucking drowning in their own fucking irony. I did enjoy listening to that podcast, and I have been their patron for whatever, like 6 to 9 months or whatever, until I got bored with it. But basically what being a patron for them meant is that they only had one tier that was $5, and you would get 4 extra podcasts in addition to 4 regular podcasts. And the only annoying part about it was like downloading the shit from Patreon, which was inconvenient. That was annoying, but these communists knew what they were doing, and throughout the whole thing I had no like sentimental attachment to them. Many people consider me to be their YouTube dad, and that's completely true, 100% dad. But with them, I really didn't feel that, and I really kind of didn't think of it as crowdfunding at all. And that's kind of the direction I want to move into. However, I will not move into this direction right away, because this channel is small and shitty and needs improvement. That being said, I will continuously put exclusive content on there. But in my kind of ideal scenario, that will probably never happen, but we always want that perfect communism somewhere in the future before the Berlin Wall collapses. Well, in my perfect world, I'd have like 2 podcasts on there, one with one person person, another with another, and just kind of alternating. So you would get like, I don't know, 2 podcasts a month plus a stream for $5. That's kind of where I would like to go. But this is far away into the future. For now, like, I have no shame about e-begging because I fucking have nothing. You will see insane fucking Patreon tiers that will never be fulfilled by anybody, but they're there just out of pure greed and desperation. Pure greed and desperation, man. That's why they're there. But the awkward thing for me as far as crowdfunding is a situation when, let's say, some kind of a big wig like fucking Rationality Rules makes a couple of grand a month, and the people who are crowdfunding him make less money than him. Whereas, like, if you're buying like a music album, it doesn't fucking matter what the artist gets because you're not crowdfunding him; you're getting an actual product. So that's kind of I don't want to be in the e-begging business forever, and I'm not in the e-begging business purely speaking right now because there are some exclusive videos I put together there. But you know what I mean. This is my fucking philosophy, alright?
In return for their generosity, creators tend to reward their patrons with exclusive goodies, which indeed I'm also doing.
Say man, have you ever wanted to be a part of a gang?
You may not realize it, but you are currently funding some dangerous people. They are indoctrinating young minds throughout the West with their resentment-ridden ideology. They have made it their life's mission to undermine Western civilization itself, which they regard as corrupt, oppressive, and patriarchal. If you're a taxpayer or paying for your kid's liberal arts degree, you're underwriting this gang of nihilists.
That's right, man, a gang of nihilists. This is the basic level, and guess what the entry fee is to become a part of the gang of nihilists. Guess what the initiation fee is, man. Well, $2 would be a little too steep, okay? But $1 would be a little bit too low, man. Now, $1.50, it's still a little too much, man. $1.46, I think you're underpaying for it, man. It's a little bit too low. How about $1.47? That's right, for $1.47, motherfucker, you can be in this fucking gang of nihilists in my baseline level. What do you get for $1.47? Well, you get $1.47 worth of appreciation from me, man. I love you, thank you. Alright, you'll have access to an exclusive Patreon stream. It's so exclusive, it's going to be on YouTube, but it's going to be unlisted. And only people with a link through Patreon can access this stream. This stream will happen on a monthly basis. As you know, it takes time to perfect your skills, communication skills, so I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of a climb in quality. I mean, it's not hard to climb from the outer gutter, but it's not just going to be a lazy stream where I just sit around and talk to myself, presumably, because there's not going to be anybody there aside from me. One idea I have is like subscriber stories, seeing if there are any interesting stories from any subscribers I might have, like preferably like something along the lines of anal rape for men. Don't want to hear about anal rape of ladies because that stuff gets awkward, man. But aside from that, like I could review a quick video from Peterson, like something like 5 minutes. It's gonna be a work in progress. The other benefit, the other shitty perk is gonna be Patreon Q&A. Patreon Q&A will be posted on the main channel, but the only people who can ask a question would be people who are giving me money. Now, this is going to be awkward when I have 3 patrons and I have to beat out questions out of them, but nevertheless, it's not just going to be me answering questions in quick succession. I will try to focus on one question and give it like 7 to 10 minutes, and then we'll answer the other questions. All questions are welcome. Of course, not all of them could be answered, but if you want to do a shitpost question, that's fucking excellent. It's so good in the hood. I will be making little videos, reviews of books and documentaries. I don't know how much of a benefit that's going to be. It might be more of a Patreon spam, but here's the most important benefit of them all. You have given me money, man. We have a sacred bond. And on account of that bond, I make a solemn promise at this kind of gang of nihilist level, a solemn promise not to court your mother. Now, we all know that with that vile whore, courting is a relative term. I mean, sometimes a glance is enough. But I will never court your mother, man. Now you can say, here's a loophole in here. What if this beast, what if this animal lunges at me? Will I reject her romantic advances? I might did. Not for $1.47. All of us sometimes get desperate, all of us. And I can't recommend anything as far as that. No courting, but once the advance comes, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I might restrain myself, I may not. All right, we'll see if there's a higher Patreon tier where that also can be assured. And finally, I thought about if you've been around my horrible Facebook page, you might have seen my awkward attempts at starting a forum on Patreon. This is still potentially in the works, depending on how many people actually join Patreon. If there's a meaningful number of people, this forum will get started. The reason why I didn't start it right now is because chances are, unfortunately, there's not going to be that many people on there, number one. And number two, I didn't want to have like a small forum where I'm at the center of it, because I'm basically like a socially awkward person. I really wanted like people interacting with each other to be at the core of it, rather than being like this fucking guru fucking clown of the forum that tries to keep it going. And then like if there's a critical mass of people on this forum, then it can sink or swim on its own, with people talking about whatever they want to talk about. It doesn't have to be YouTube or even my stupid channel. So that's the forum idea. I have a lot of subscribers who are intelligent people and interesting people, and it would be cool to have an exclusive forum, but we'll see where this Patreon goes. All right, let's go to the second tier. The second tier is the solid bro / honored lady tier, and this one will cost you $5. Now, it obviously includes all the prior tiers, and it includes 3 exclusive videos, man. 3 hours of content of the same horrible content quality you can find on the main channel. 3 hours, man. So the first video is an interview of myself by Mr. Robbins, who you might catch in the comment section. Turns out we live in the same horrible part of America, and so we met up at his condo. His questions were so insightful, man. So insightful and so awesome that it even made me almost overlook and sometimes forget about the strange smell in his condo that was reminiscent of decaying human flesh. It was so insightful and so awesome. Very deep philosophical questions were broached.
Coming up, we've got Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yeah.
The 3 names I'm going to throw out there for you in round 1. Lauren Southern,
Yep.
Lindsay Shepard, and ContraPoints.
You know, the deductive kind of reasoning behind this question, the kind of rational inertia of this question kind of suggests and kind of almost pushes one and invites one toward. So we talked about YouTube culture, we talked about Jordan Peterson. Mr. Robbins actually had some positive things to say about Peterson. I had to set him straight. We talked about my life, and overall it's a pretty cool interview. I do look kind of fat in it because of the light, man. It's just the unnatural light really kind of made me look fat in the beard. But overall, I'm not as fat as I appear in that video. Aside from that, it's excellent and it's most awesome, and thank you, Mr. Robbins, for doing that. The second video is actually one I consider to be the best video of the 3 personally, even though it might seem insane. And that's a video about starting a YouTube channel, me going through the different aspects of starting a YouTube channel, and I've actually devised a hierarchy based on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Mine is Ivan's hierarchy of YouTube needs. So I start basically with whether you want an amateur channel or a more professional channel, and then going through equipment all the way to making videos and the flow of the video and so on. to be honest, like, you might ask yourself, why is this shitty little YouTuber telling me what to do? Motherfucker, I'm not telling you how to recreate my horrible channel. I'm telling you how to create a channel that people might actually watch, okay? I do think that that video is useful, even though it does go on for an hour. It only includes minimal rambling that you should be used to it now, but overall it's structured. And the last video, I have to admit, probably not exactly for everyone, but if you like those kind of deep dives into obscure topics, this is it. It's a discussion of the conflict between the Dalai Lama and a demon. And this conflict has been going on for 400 years because, of course, the Dalai Lamas reincarnate. And so this demon that emerged 400 years that people actually believe is real and that people are worshipping right now in the West, this conflict involves murder and chaos, magic, and geopolitics, because China ends up supporting this spirit because it's against the Dalai Lama. They support the worship of this spirit. So it's kind of it's a fascinating historical conflict. I don't know if I was the best person to tell it, because I wanted to put it in the context of history, and in this context it kind of stretched out for like around an hour and 20 minutes. But on the other hand, when you're done with it, you'll know more about Tibetan Buddhism than the vast majority of Tibetan Buddhists in America, which is not a high standard, but nevertheless, man. So you'll get access to these 3 videos at the Solid Bro, Honored Lady tier level. So all tiers after this one are actually motivated purely by greed, involve amounts of money that nobody will give me, and are also have perks and benefits that are purely metaphysical in nature. So the first one I'm going to cover is the one you've been waiting for your whole life, man. It's the Alpha Logos Boss lobster. A lot of shitty lobsters get cucked in the ocean. They really taste the saltiness of the water because they've been cucked. They're beta lobsters. Beta. And you know what beta lobsters do? They're bottom dwellers, man. And they just kind of hang around at the bottom of the ocean and eat little shit. What do you need to fucking eat to get the alpha lobster posture? Motherfucker, you have to swim to the surface, as only the alpha lobster can. Most lobsters can't swim. And eat the logos.
Consider your transformation into something approximating the logos. It means you shine a light on the whole world. Well, there's nothing more exciting to do than that. There's nothing better you can possibly do.
Eat the logos, man. You have to eat the logos, all right? Here's the thing, man. Some archetypes need to be destroyed. And you're, as an alpha lobster, you're the archetype slayer. Okay, should I stop at this point? Yep, it's $10. And listen, man, this is the place where I renew my quest to get rid of your mother. And here, not only will I not court your mother, but I will also deny her advances, man. I don't want to fuck with the alpha lobster, okay? Is this enough? Should we move on to the next tier? The next tier is $20. It's not gonna happen, man, but I have to try, okay? So this one is the edgelord who cares. It's very edgy to give me money, and you clearly care, man. I love you, man. Thank you for not giving me that, because nobody will. The next one is moving up on the insanity scale. We have a tier of gratitude. For $50, man, I will put myself into a special room, and I will shed a tear for you. I will break with my masculine nature, and I will shed a tear for you of gratitude for giving me $50. Unfortunately, not many salty ones will hit the floor at that insane level. And finally, man, this is the last tier, and perhaps the one that could change your life the most. This tier is called Sam Harris. All right? Have you ever wanted to become Sam Harris? Motherfucker, for $78.47, I will make you into Sam Harris. You are Sam Harris already, man. You just have to contribute that money. It hits my bank account, and you will become Sam Harris. Unless unless you fucking hate Sam Harris. Everybody wants to be Sam Harris, but some people don't. You don't want to be Sam Harris, but you're moving in that Harris direction, dude. This Sam Harris tier is called Sam Harris for a reason. It's not called Who Wants to Become Sam Harris, it's just called Sam Harris. Because somewhere on the moral landscape of Harris, all of us fit in.
This idea that without religion, something fundamental would be lost to us in moral terms. This really is questionable when you look at the books.
Out of all the so-called four horsemen, Sam was my favorite.
And maybe you're tilting toward the Harris direction, man. Well, listen, we're gonna sort it out in this tier, and you will no longer be referred to as Sam Harris by your friends and your father. Okay? It has to end. No more Harris, unless you want to be Sam Harris. Ask yourself this question, to be or not to be.
As far as being against the irrationality, I agree with Sam, but I have other disagreements with Sam that seem to be a difference in focus and a sense of caution in regards to Sam's conclusion that the world needs an end of faith.
Okay, man, so what are my long-term goals for the channel? Well, one goal actually exists on my Patreon. I really kind of forgot about it. I'll be done with discussing fucking money schemes on Patreon in just 1 second, okay? So here it says that when I reach $578 per month, I will take the self-authoring suite by Jordan Peterson and make a video about it. It's that important fucking Peterson quiz. Now it costs $29.90, man. It used to be you could snatch that shit for like 20 bucks, but I guess it increased in value. In the preceding time, I should have started this Patreon earlier, man. But I will take this quiz and I will film it. However, a part of this is a lie. Now, this number is too high per month. You might say, Ivan, you'll never reach that number per month. You're fucking dreaming. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, dude. But it's not actually $578. The number that it actually takes is $577.54. That's what I entered, but then fucking Patreon rounded it up. Motherfucker, we're not gonna wait for that remaining fucking 46 cents. I wouldn't burden you with that. The moment I myself see that I'm making $577.54 a month, I'm not gonna wait any further. I'm not gonna wait on that 46 cents because that was the original number I fucking entered. And then Patreon violated my will by rounding it up. That's unethical, man. What would Sam Harris say about that? Well, you have to give me the $78.47 to find out, because you really have to sort out your Harris to find out that question. I think I'm fucking growing insane here. My dudes, what are the plans for my channel in the long term? I would like to do a documentary about Vladimir Putin called The Rise of the Boss. And basically, like, he's a big brand, but nobody knows anything about him. And most of the shit you hear is kind of a little bit cartoonish. The Rise of the Boss will not present Putin in a positive way, I guarantee you. But it would just talk about the historical forces and the specifics of his life that have pushed him toward power. Like, I have a lot of the outlines in my head, but I would need time to really put it together well in order for it to be engaging to the extent that anybody would find it interesting. But I think I could make it interesting. That's number one. And I would like to do more of these like longer form videos, but I just don't have the time. The other aspect is I just want these videos to be better. Like right now, because of time constraints, I have to like, you know, film the video in one take, or like in one session, I should say. And that kind of doesn't make things as smooth as I like to. I just like to improve research and production value over time, but I have to push out like 2 videos a week right now because my channel, as you know, doesn't have universal appeal, it seems like. And so I just have to constantly push out videos, so hopefully new people will see it. I would, in the long term, really would like to improve this channel a lot, but I just don't have the time right now since I'm working. On the other hand, if in the long term, you know, it's not going to work out for me to actually ever make any money off of this channel or kind of to get compensated for my labors. It's kind of like, you know, if you're a musician and you're putting out music and you have some diluted goals and then they crash and then you're just making music for personal enjoyment. Well, that's kind of something that would happen with the channel, and I don't know what direction it would take. Maybe a more interesting one. I don't know, but maybe a lot of fucking cargo van videos and discussions about life. Because actually, like, I don't particularly give too much shit about topics I cover here for the most part. I just kind of want it to be a platform for discussion of life in general. And if I had a more hobbyist channel where I just didn't give a shit about growth anymore and didn't view it as work. Like, YouTube isn't real work, of course, it's not real work, but it is work as far as like being time consuming. In that case, I don't know, it just would be a channel, I would just try to make it about life somehow. That's the greatest challenge of all. So maybe this is, you know, this is what's gonna happen. Just one upload a month about life. Driving in the cargo van, I won't even be able to afford a cargo van, man, to put the gas in it. So I'll just pretend to be driving, and then I'll put on another video, you know, of just somebody else driving on a different road, and I'll just be like, you know, it's just gonna be a bad movie driving, you know, talking about life. So maybe that sounds actually kind of engaging when I talk about it. All right. Okay, well, once again, you see, this is, if you give me money, man, this is the kind of video we're gonna avoid, because I fucking rambled and rambled, even though I did put together this outline. Nevertheless, I wasted everyone's time. I did. Come on, how about that $1.47 for dad? Come on, don't be cheap, dude. We can go for that 5. Okay, oh, that's fine, man, that's fine. Okay, that's fine, man. I just, thanks for subscribing, man. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.